Mark's locked outside the building. He went out for a cigar and he's never been seen since. So we're sending him all our best wishes for a speedy recovery wherever he is. Hi.
Well, we'll just begin. So first of all, thank you for waiting. How have you been enjoying the convention so far?
Oh, everyone's so nice. It's so nice to hear so many familiar accents for a change. I'm not outnumbered. For a change, it's very nice and very normal and very good for me. It's good for the soul.
So obviously, before we get into kind of supernatural, what was it kind of first brought you into acting in general?
I first of all remember being in a little dancing display at Falkirk Town Hall, and I was really upset to hear that demolished the Falkirk Town Hall. There was a bit of a campaign to try and save it a couple of years ago, because the Falkirk Town Hall was a place where Forbes Masson performed and Ian Morton, people who've all gone on to do other things. And so I remember being a wee dancer, and there was a line on the stage and you couldn't go past the line, you know, you're looking at the line. And my dancing teacher was in the wings, Miss Langlands, and she was standing, and I said to her, "Miss Langlands, your foot's over the line." So I remember being on stage from being quite little, and I think being an actress seemed really far-fetched for a girl from a farm. I didn't have family in the business, so I think I saw the movie.
Please welcome to stage Mark Shepherd!
Are you okay? Are you okay, pal? Do you want some water?
What? Hey guys! Where were you at, Ruth? What were you talking about?
I have no idea.
Being
Oh yeah, no, I think I saw a movie, and now it's no longer, you know, it's a problematic movie now, but at the time when I saw Gone with the Wind, I knew I wanted to be like Vivian Leigh playing Scarlett O'Hara. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to be that person that got to pretend.
You know, that's really funny, so did I.
And you've got the corsets to prove it.
Ever since I saw Carol Burnett coming down those stairs with
the curtains.
The curtain rail.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
So the first question is, were you locked outside the building? That was the working theory.
What?
Were you locked out of the building?
No.
That's what people were saying.
I was having a cigar. What the hell's the problem with you lot? This is Scotland, slow down. This isn't a fast-paced world. So I'm glad to be here anyway. Who are you?
So I'm Simon, I'm the moderator.
Simon?
Yes.
You know, my name is Simon, and I like to do drawings. What do you want to know?
Lots.
Like what?
So
Go on, Simon. Entertain me. I'm gonna go hang with my friends.
Well, I think that's probably quite a good point to just throw over to the crowd since you're in the people.
What?
You may as well.
Hands up, who has a question for Mark? Yes, sir, in the middle there.
What am I doing here?
You're quite famous.
Listen, I just feel bad for all the people at the back. For some reason, they're not allowed to be down at the front with all the cool people. So, hey guys, how you doing? Love your hat.
The people at the back think we're better looking though, so I like.
That's true, actually. You look fantastic from up here.
Yeah.
So what do you want to know, Simon?
How did you first become involved in Supernatural?
I went up to do a guest star shot. Stayed for 8 years.
Fair enough. Do we have any questions in the audience? Get the hands up. Hands up high. We'll try and get a microphone to you. Where is? Oh, right down the front here, sir.
Hi there. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you want?
When do you want it? There you go.
My name's Aidan.
Hi, Aidan.
Hi, I'm from Dundee.
So,
my-
where the
Thank you.
marmalade
Thank you.
comes from.
I've escaped for the weekend. My question's for both of you, because both of you are my favourite characters of Supernatural.
Oh, you've got good taste.
Not possible.
What was your favourite moment of filming Supernatural and why?
So what was your favourite moment and why?
The bit when I got to say to Mark, now do you understand why it breaks my heart to see what a colossal pussy you've become?
Funny, I don't remember that at all. I probably wasn't listening.
But I wasn't allowed to say that word, and I think I ad-libbed numbnut or something.
Yeah, it was numbnut.
But it was a fun moment for me because it was actually in my audition sides, and that's what I based the entire character on, was that was the last line of my audition sides. No, I'm kidding, but we had so many highlights, Mark. We had so many magical moments. I remember being in the bus stop with you. It was -7, 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was still fantastic fun. And the bus scene, you know.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I have a photograph of that. It's one of
Yeah.
my favorite pictures. But it's such an odd thing because, look, we never thought the show would have the impact that it did. We certainly didn't think the show would ever go on as long as it did. And the fact that this created a family of people and supporters and people who care about the show at a level that probably no other show has ever had. I mean, from, Trek to Star Wars and all the rest of that stuff. Yeah, there's millions of fans, but not those that come together necessarily in the same way and advocate in the same way. And we have causes and things we believe in, and the boys have causes and things they believe in. And you guys seem to come in behind that and make it 1,000 million times bigger. And that's the proudest thing of it all. That's this little show that could, on a little network, is, still being shown to this day in 140 countries or something. It's still on TV in Brazil and everything
Am
else.
I supposed to get residuals for that?
No. CW was always really bad at foreign residuals, but we never knew it was going to have the impact that it had. And I think the biggest deal that we had is that every day that we went to work, we sort of grew together in the most beautiful way. And we're very, very guarded with how much we really cared about it. Everybody on that set, I mean, my favorite part is, obviously for me, is the end of season 8, where we got to the angels and demons falling from the sky, the human blood scenes of where we were at. For one reason, it was a very good example of the support that we had and the level of support we had from our crew and our writers and our special effects guys and our props guys and girls and it was just an absolute showing of how much the show meant for everybody. And we would do an episode and we would do our scenes and we'd do what we do, and we really gave a damn whether you liked it or not, and we put as much love into it as we could, and 150 people putting their heart into what they do has an effect. It really does have an effect, and I think that's the reason why this show endures, and I think that's the reason why we get new viewers every 10 years.
That's what I want to know. I want to know, hands up, if you discovered Supernatural in the last 5 years.
It's amazing to us because the show was over 5 years ago, and to see, we'll do conventions and we'll see 60% of the people had never been to a convention before, right?
Hands up if you're new to conventions.
Well,
We'll
take
be
a look
very-
around you, keep your hands up and look around
We'll
you,
be very gentle.
right? By the way, you're going to make friends with all the rest of these people, I warn you. Whether you like it or not, you are going to make friends this way. It's the most wonderful thing. I mean, you never envisage when you're doing a TV series that it's going to have an effect or be such a positive thing for, I don't know, just a beacon of something positive and caring. And
That you're going to be in people's living rooms for 15 seasons.
Well, I'm old. I've been in people's living rooms for 35 years. And that's before I was on television. That was just as a house burglar.
And pet sitter.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's magic. It's an absolute magic thing. I mean, to do something you love is an honor, right? I mean, it really is. We used to do it for free. You danced, you acted, you've done these things for free, right?
Paid to do, yeah.
Absolutely. But to get paid for it is is just gravy. It's just the most wonderful thing. And we get to do something a lot, which is magical, which is to travel either to roughly where you're from or close to where I'm from, and places all over the world, and see our audience. You don't see your audience when you're making TV, you just hope it's doing something, you hope it's it. But we get to come here and see your faces and interact with you at a very different level than you ever experienced by being on TV, you know. It's an interactive and a very positive thing. So we love this. If you want to know why we come to see you, genuinely. Follow that, Simon.
Adrian.
I'm not even going to try. I believe we have another question. Where is the microphone? Just moving in time.
Hey guys, this is from Falkirk.
Are you? Whereabouts?
Graham's Road.
No way.
What language are they speaking?
This is a local language. Obviously the season's synonymous with really famous one-liners. You've both got some yourselves, but my question is, which other characters' one-liners were your personal favourite?
I didn't really pay much attention to the other characters. No, but seriously, that's a very Rowena answer. I feel like I got really lucky.
Yeah, once I was gone, you got really lucky.
Well,
You
yes.
just borrowed mine.
Yes and no, but because you were one of the main people I played off of.
No,
so
I
that
know,
was
I'm
gone.
making fun, but look, I did a convention in San Francisco, right, at the end of a group of supernatural conventions before I went off on tour, and very wonderfully and sheepishly and quietly, the entire crowd had little paddles, and on the paddles was written lines of mine. I was on Walkabout, it wasn't as steep as that. I was on Walkabout having a look around, and everyone just put these little paddles up looking really nervous, hoping they weren't going to get picked on. And I got to walk in between all these lines that I'd said over a decade of being pretty much on the show. And I could remember the context of these. It just gave me the giggles. Some of the stuff they wrote for me was ridiculous. It was, I mean, no one in the history of torture has been tortured with torture at the time, torture could be tortured with, whatever. But there was little things that were, you know, where's your moose, which started the whole moose and squirrel thing, which is fantastic. You know, we were trying to find insults for Jared for a year. Like Gigantor, Johnny Green, Mop-headed Lumberjack.
It was
Giraffe.
all such a joy though when we would do an episode, and I think I know what the catchphrase is, but then you guys choose something I didn't even notice, or like evil skanks. I wanted to cut it. I didn't like that.
You never know. You never know what's going to resonate.
Yeah. So, and then some like a couple of favourites like my wee sausage. I'm so glad that caught on. It's actually a friend of mine used to say that to me, so it's a little tribute to her. There's things like that that are like, oh, I'm glad everyone else liked it too.
You could get away with saying anything you wanted to most of the time.
Yeah, and especially because I would just say, people in Scotland say that, and they'd be like, okay. I got my first speaking episode, Bob Singer was directing, and I said, whatever the line was, I was like, in Scotland we say things like utter gobshite or total fanny, or, do you know what I mean? And in America, fanny doesn't mean anything bad.
Fanny's
Your fanny pack, right? They're like,
it's your ass.
and so I managed to get total fannies into my first episode of Supernatural, and Bob Singer comes up to me afterwards and he's like, Ruth, you're so naughty.
We got wanker in there really early. We got bollocks in there
Got bollocks.
right away. I was really happy.
And I couldn't, but I wasn't allowed to say Egypt, which is a really
That's
common word
Bobby's.
here, because Egypt was a specific word
Yeah.
Bobby used, which I was
Yes.
like, oh, because I wasn't allowed, so that's okay. That's okay too.
It's fun. But they ate my tailor. Why do you guys like that line? I think it's just because I'm in a really bad mood when I said it. You know, I was in the park, and there was a lamppost, right? And we were blowing up that lamppost, right? We had one bulb, and it's 40 feet tall. You really think they wanted to go change that bulb? So they had to blow it on my cue, and I had to do They Ate My Tailor as part of that. I was literally going, if I screw this up, I'm going to be like 3 or 4 hours before we can do this again. So I think most of those things came as a result of having to get it right rather than wanting to get it right.
But talking of like perhaps jealousy of other people's lines, just a quick shout out to Jen Lyon, who's in a show just now called Cheer. If you've seen it, it's fun. Anyway, she was in one of the writers from Supernatural wrote another show called Dead Boy Detectives, which if you haven't seen it, is on Netflix. There's a few people from Supernatural involved in it, including one of the directors. But the biggest compliment I can give is that she played a witch in Dead Boy Detectives, and it's the biggest compliment I've ever given another actor, and I said to her, I'm jealous of your witch. And I meant it. So please check out Dead Boy Detectives and check out Jen Lyon in Cheer, because she's so fun. She's the best. I wouldn't admit it to anyone else on our show.
We have a question from a very patient FBI agent down the front here.
Dressed really poorly.
Hello, my name is Adelia, and sorry Mark, but this question's for Ruth.
I just love your accent so much, oh my god.
As a Scottish actor, how did you feel getting to play a Scottish character in Supernatural?
Relieved. I've been working on my American accent for a long time, and I worked in it using an English accent and an Irish accent, but it was such a tremendous relief to get to be Scottish. But they did get me to tape another version of my audition with a more neutral Scottish, like a slightly transatlantic thing, just in case.
Ew.
I know, just in case some of the big wigs higher up the food chain, said I wasn't understandable, and I never, I didn't get a single complaint from anyone
Apart from me.
apart from Mark that that Rowena wasn't understood, and so I credit that to my very clear Scottish accent. My mum and making me say all my T's and all that when I was little.
Thanks for your question,
Thank you
Columbo.
for your question. You got a great accent. Don't ever lose it.
We have another question just down the front here.
Ooh.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Skyla. I'm from Aberdeen. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm an English student at uni, and I was wondering what Rowena and Crowley's favourite book would be as a recommendation to read.
Huh. Does Crowley read books?
Crowley's favourite book? Of course he reads book. He was a New York publisher. You should really watch the show.
But I
Publish
mean,
books.
yeah, would you say he was currently reading books?
Probably the Kama Sutra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, anything that would make anybody else uncomfortable.
I feel like Rowena would like a bit of S&M Mills and Boon, if there's such a thing.
S&M Mills and Boon?
No, she'd probably just read the fanfic.
S&M M&B.
Weirdos.
Who's on the cover? Have to be Dean.
I once accidentally saw this thing, and it was Jared, it was Sam and God, and I was like, I don't.
I've got a velvet painting of me and Castiel in a bath. It is the most hysterically funny homoerotic
Sensual.
painting I've ever seen. It's about as, I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. We both look really good.
Yeah. I look good in velvet too.
Cut.
No, I think Rowena would read books, and I think she'd have read all the mystical books, and the Book of the Damned obviously is the one she really wants to read.
Witches' cookbooks.
Uh-huh.
Delia Smith.
But yeah, I think she'd have some random hot romance
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
thing going on, like a bit
50
of
Shades of Red.
50 Shades more Wiccan or something. Yeah.
We've got another question just over at the left-hand side.
You're doing a good job, Simon.
Thank you, I'm trying.
I'm almost understanding.
My first thing is my name's Natasha. Thank you for helping put my 2-year-old brother at the time to sleep. His favourite characters were Crowley and Dean. But my question is for you, Mark.
Hold on a second here.
It's a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, that was really interesting. Go on.
But my question for you is, if you still got the photo of you and Wolfie sitting there?
Yeah, of course I do. It was taken on my phone. See, the whole thing was my first scene ever. I kissed an actor called L. Harvey Gold under a crossroads, and I love L. Harvey Gold, but he wasn't very excited by the idea of kissing a man on television, and he'd get very sort of nervous when he started thinking about it. And Phil Scritcher was directing us in the first episode. And if I talked to him and hung out with him, he got silly and couldn't act. So Phil was like, you got to find a way of leaving him alone and stopping him being nervous at the same time. So it was like, we sort of worked on it. Anyway, he was about 6'3". So when I went in for the kiss, he fought me every step of the way. It was the most unbelievably difficult kiss I've ever had to do in my life. I had to grab, oh God. Kissing him was like kissing a piece of paper. But grabbing the back of his clammy, wet head was literally the most disgusting thing I've ever experienced. So boys, if you realize this, personal hygiene is an absolute most when you're being kissed by crossroads demons under a bridge. But he fought me. I actually literally had to climb the guy and do it. So, but I had a heads up. So I got the kiss. But then, what was funny is Jim knew this was going to happen. And they made him know a week before we were doing it that this was going to happen. And he was like, yeah, no big deal. I've been to Vietnam. I've been a Marine. I've fought, done all sorts of things, combat, fun stuff. Kissing Mark
Shepard's
no big
my country
deal.
so I could come home and do this.
So he was like quite comfortable with the idea until we got really close to doing it. And then when we got really close to doing it, oh my God, did production mess with him. They absolutely destroyed him. We rolled four cameras. It's not supposed to be on camera. We had about 17 phones out. The entire crew was there. And this is the before picture, which nobody ever usually sees. He is so terrified in this picture. If you zoom in into this, it's absolutely brilliant. That's the first one. There's the kiss. I am cracking up laughing. They made us do it for 10 minutes. It is the longest 10 minutes of Jim Beaver's life. He is so uncomfortable. It is brilliant. It was one of my favorite moments of all time. It was really good. I mean, they tortured him. Can we go again? Hold on, the light's not right. Can we reset? It just went on and on and on. And it was never a shot. It was just on my phone.
That's
evil.
That's absolutely incredible. We will come now to the Ewok beside the Sim.
Hi, I'm Ellie, and I kind of wanted to ask both of you if there was any kind of storylines or anything that you wanted your character to have, but maybe didn't make it into the show.
Well, two. Well, it was mentioned in the show, but Felicia and I, lockdown happened, and Rowena and Charlie have gone off on a road trip. And Felicia and I really did talk about getting into one of our cars together and just shooting some shit. It's Charlie and Rowena, but then we thought maybe that might get fired. That might not be allowed, even though it was lockdown. But we discussed
Thelma and Louise style?
Yeah, Thelma, exactly. And we did discuss the route, what we would do, who would drive. That would be Charlie. And
You'd sit in the back though.
Yeah, with my feet up. And we said to each other, what would the music be? And I kid you not, both of us looked at each other at the same moment, in the same breath, and said, ABBA. I swear to God, we both just knew that would be our soundtrack. And the other storyline is that I'm so glad that Rowena got to be the Queen of Hell. I'm so glad she got there, that a woman got there. I just wish, I wish it would have been fun to see her actually make hell great again. No, but to actually see her in action there doing more, and that's the only pity, is just because of lockdown we didn't get to go back up, or I didn't get to do any more in hell, because it would have been a lot of fun tickling people to death with a wet tea bag and all the crazy ideas that I had. So those are my only two regrets.
Make Hell Great Again has to be a t-shirt, surely.
It was a t-shirt. I had that t-shirt out in 2017.
We should bring it back.
No.
I believe we've got another question over on the left-hand side.
Hi, Mark. Yeah.
They both begin with an R, it's okay.
I have to say, Ruthie, thank you so much for your portrayal in Doom Patrol, which is similar to Dead Boy Detectives. And Mark, thank you so much for being in Doctor Who.
Oh, you didn't like me in Doom Patrol?
I liked you a lot more in Doctor Who.
You're getting a lot of backhanded compliments up here.
Jesus. Scotland's getting rough.
But
I played the Barrowlands. This is fucking worse. I walked out on stage like, can you hear Rangers sing? No.
But my question is, Ruthie, I think you know about Supernatural parody that you're a part of, Hollywood show. I'm gonna ask this. What did you think of being a part of it? And also, Mark, would you have liked to have been in it?
Wait, Mark, I think there's been a few, isn't there? And he was in the first one, the Taylor Swift one, which I just wasn't quite around for.
Who was?
Are you not in the Shake It Up, Shake It Up?
I don't think so. I might have been sitting down in a corner somewhere.
Yeah. It's fun. The girls are really organised. They're the best at what they do. You know, they're very efficient. Fly you, they know exactly what you're doing. You know, it's very, very particular because it's very choreographed. I quite like that as an ex-dancer. I quite like this is this and this is this, and then it was
There's
over.
a wonderful whimsy to them, isn't there?
Yeah,
it's fantastic. They're such true fans of what they're fans of, and it comes through in everything.
And
they do.
I'm fans of those two women as women. I like them, so I said yes when I could say yes. I did.
They're so
it. It was
brave.
fun.
They're brave. They're very, very brave. It takes a lot of guts to approach any subject matter which has such a polarizing sort of army of people behind it, and put out something new and something interesting. I think they're both so incredibly bright, and it's just there's a passion in what they do that is fantastic. I think anybody that does anything with passion is deserving of our applause and our support.
Yeah, and they shot it really well.
Yeah.
Like they did a good job. It was fun.
It's not good at that stuff. I mean, I found the whole Supernatural thing to be a parody for me. I mean, you talk about running hell, it's the most boring job in the world. I mean, that was the whole point of the last 4 seasons of Crowley, was that he hated his job. It was only fun when I got to hang out with Dean, or I got to kill people or do stuff. I mean, it was Ben wrote the episode where hell was just a line of people, and I said, you do realise people are going to equate this to a convention line. You know, now serving 6 billion and 4. And the guy pulls out like number 38. It's like one step forward. It was like the idea is that Crowley didn't want to do it, and that was the biggest thing for me, is that it was nauseating. Hell was boring for him. He went from middle management with aspirations to running the whole thing to going, all I really want to do is hang out with Dean and do stuff.
Have connection, which is the opposite of hell.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's very well put. But it was the worst idea to run hell. My favourite line in the whole show is me and Vivian. Vivian was playing one of my guys.
Viv Leacock.
Leacock's a wonderful actor.
We have the same birthday.
He was playing really? He was playing one of my helpers. He was like, somebody else wasn't available, so they put him in. He's wonderful. I love the guy. And he's there, and he's like, and he's come back from doing something for me, and he's telling me, I'm saying something about you, and I'm bitching about how you're a pain in my ass. And he goes, yeah, well, my mom used to stub out cigarettes on my forehead. I looked at him and went, nobody cares, Joe. My mother-in-law uses that on a continuous basis. Nobody cares. She has the most depressing delivery of it. It's like, nobody cares, Joe. It's like, nobody cares what you feel. This is the most boring job in the world. The other one, playing darts on the guy. That's what I was doing in hell. You know, it was just miserable. I had so much. I was like watching weepy movies in Paris, consuming human blood.
Yeah. I remember saying that line to you, be a bloody king, you know, because
Yes.
the outsider looking in, thinking, oh, this looks like something.
But it was a wonderful dichotomy. It's like you wanted that power for whatever reason to do something.
I was impressed by it.
Yeah, and I wanted nothing to do with it. It's kind of fun.
And on that note, I'm so sorry, we have run out of time.
It's all Simon's fault.
Oh, is that it?
Listen, you lot, I haven't seen you all at my table yet, or her table yet, so you lazy bastards need to come up and do the right and proper thing. And if you want our attention, come and see us. Come and take a picture with us, or come and get an autograph if you can. Or at worst, at least, at a very minimum, come and say hi. All right? We love you all. We're so proud that you're here. Thank you for being Scottish. Seriously, I love you all. Every time I come to Scotland, it's a magical thing for me. I've toured here, I've gigged here since I was a kid. It's a special place, and we're proud of you. We're proud to know you. Thank you for letting us be a part of you, and thank you for being a big part of our lives and making this possible, because without you, this doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So
thank you for letting me represent you a tiny little bit.
You do it well. We love you all, guys. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Simon.
Thank you both so much for your time. Folks, we're going to take a quick